Thanks, Dan. So that was the debutante from Herbert L. Clarke, Caprice Brillante. I also want to thank at this point Mrs. Edith Chisholm. She was my accompanist when I was 12 years old when I first played this piece. A lovely lady, Mrs. Edith Chisholm of Regina, Saskatchewan. Was a good friend of my mother and father, and her husband Dennis, who is the vice police chief of the Regina City Police, a man about 2 meters and 10, a wonderful guy. And his son, John studied with me. So I hope if John sees this video, he also will remember that I'm thanking his mother, his father, and saying hello to John. So now I'd like to go on to another aspect of playing that might be interesting also for our visitor here in the La Tromba studio. And that might be the trumpet. We've talked about the cornet. Now I also spoke about Timothy Dokshitsa, the great trumpet player from Russia. I was very fortunate to have been able to meet with him. Actually sat in the jury of the competition in Budapest in 1983 that I entered. 83, 84 in that time. And we talked about this piece that I'm going to play now from George Enescu. Often it's written Enescu, but his name is Enescu, Romanian composer. His most famous piece is called the Romanian Rhapsodies. And in any event, this was originally written for Marie Franquin, Monsieur Marie Franquin, probably played on the C trumpet rather than on the B flat trumpet at that time. But I like the B flat trumpet more because it has a bigger, darker sound, more overtones. So I'm going to play the B flat trumpet. And I'm going to take a mouthpiece that I used before to warm up. I think I put it right over there. It's right beside the valve oil. Now, can you find it right away? No. That, exactly. Thank you so much. It's important to understand that a mouthpiece has to fit a trumpet properly. I learned this from a man named Reynold Schilke, who was probably the best instrument maker of his generation, I believe. He was a trumpet player, played in the Chicago Symphony, but he also built trumpets. There's still the Schilke Instrument Company, and I have several Schilkes here. But this is a trumpet that's actually was made by also a very, very good instrument maker named Zygmunt Kanstul in California. And this instrument was given to me by him, not in gold. It has a copper bell. It was given to me with 6 other instruments. I happened to be walking through the Messe, the big music fair in Frankfurt. A student of mine was looking for a trumpet da caccia, not one of these, but one of those, and that one thing. Can you give me that instrument for just very quickly? Let's go straight up. And now a trumpet da caccia is really a piccolo horn, and it has a very modulated sound, beautiful sound. And do you happen to have Neruda there? Yeah. Okay, let's just play a couple of notes of Neruda so I can just talk about this. Now my student, or actually a friend of mine, he wanted to study with me, but I thought it would be better if I actually studied something else. Sometimes you have to tell people the truth, and some people are gifted and some people are more gifted in other directions. In any event, he's a hobby musician, and he was looking for an instrument like this, made by the firm of Sürer from Leipzig. Mr. Ludwig Güttler actually developed that, but this is an instrument that I thought sounded more like a piccolo horn than a little bit of a first place horn, which is more of a military instrument. And so I developed this instrument with a changeable bell. The whole bell comes off, and you can change it. It comes off like this. I'll just put the bell right here so you can have a look at what that's about and see it in relationship to a trumpet or whatever.